Sent from Disneyland, history in our hand. So much to say about yesterday and the decades we have spanned. Postcards from the park, this journey will embark. See what has changed and what remains on Sent from Disneyland. Sent from Disneyland.
Welcome to the Sent from Disneyland podcast.
Here age relives fond memories of the past.
If it's your first time joining us, welcome. On this podcast, we'll take a journey into the past and explore Disneyland, Disneyland history, and more, with mementos, snapshots, souvenirs, and postcards sent from Disneyland, from 1955 to the present. Let's start by thanking my patrons from patreon.com. You can join in at any level to support the show and receive snail mail from my trips to Disneyland and from my desk, plus some sneak peeks and bonus content. Special thanks to Random Olive, the first patron to this podcast, and to the rest of the e-ticket patrons, Tania, Eric Daniels, Monica Seitz Vega, Bill Dreffel, Scott Cagle, Russ Romano, Michael and Christina Cross, Angela Reynolds, and Sheila Harry. C-ticket patrons Serious Inquiries Only, Debbie Weinstein, Jennifer Schneep, Grace Coate, Patty Wolin, Ben and Noel Bruning, and Greg Gorley. B-ticket patron Joshua Bell, and to the A-ticket patrons Elise Sharp, Zealot Infinity, Alexis Robles, Angel DeBlock, Daps Magic, and the Beyond the Railroad podcast. I am your host, your post-host Clocky, and today we have 2 postcards sent from Disneyland. The front of our first postcard has a man dressed in a spacesuit standing in front of the Kaiser Aluminum Telescope, with 5 guests looking on. On the back it reads, "Take a look at your aluminum future. Watch for the Kaiser Aluminum Telescope. In Tomorrowland, see the bright star in the world of metals. Kaiser Aluminum. There's a talking knight and a spectacular spaceman to delight the children. A walk through the telescope will take you into an aluminum world of the past, present, and future. Tomorrowland, Disneyland." It's postmarked June 21st, 1957, with an Anaheim Centennial, 1857-1957, cancel, and a 3-cent purple Liberty postage stamp, Scott number 1035. I assume they visit the park on Thursday, June 20th, 1975, when park hours were from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The weather was a high of 90 and a low of 62. Park attendance that day was 19,985. It's addressed to Margaret Johnson of Bono, Ohio. It reads, "Thursday. We were at Disneyland. Went swimming in the Pacific every day. Will hate to leave. It's a dream world out here. Bye-bye, Anne." While looking through my postcards, I found this one that was sent from the Kaiser Hall of Aluminum. Before we walk into the hall, a bit of history about the Kaiser Aluminum Company. It was founded in 1946 by Henry J. Kaiser, whose shipyards built over 1,500 ships for World War II. He then leased, and then purchased, 3 aluminum facilities from the U.S. government, eventually expanding to 13 fabricating plants today. The company was established as the 3rd aluminum company in the U.S. after Reynolds and Alcoa, Aluminum Company of America. Although the company has gone through some financial hardships, it has recently purchased part of Alcoa. Today, Kaiser Aluminum is one of the top 5 aluminum companies by revenue. So, as early Tomorrowland predictions go, aluminum is still part of our lives today. Looking at a map of Disneyland, the Hall of Aluminum was located in the same show building as the Hall of Chemistry and the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea exhibit. Today, that location is the home of Star Tours and its extended queue. In the 1956 guidebook, it lists the attraction as Kaiser Aluminum Exhibit. Enter a giant telescope to see the brightest star in the world of metals. The exhibit brochure has 14 points of interest, starting with a 40-foot telescope, made of polished aluminum, which guests would enter to see the rest of the exhibit. The next feature was a futuristic freeform mural, showing the story of early aluminum production, then a replica of a crucible pouring the molten metal. 3 mannequins were on display, a knight in aluminum armor, an aluminum firefighter, and an astronaut in an aluminum spacesuit. This was to show a timeline of how we could use wearable aluminum. Guests would then continue to a wall highlighting the history of aluminum usage, with credit to early scientists, followed by a rotating exhibit with 6 basic forms of the metal: cast, rolled, extruded, drawn, forged, and powdered. At the halfway point of the exhibit, guests would see abstract statues of different methods of aluminum fabrication. Add some flair to your mail by checking out stamps at Enfield Post. You can explore different stamp options on our Etsy site, grab some great deals by following EP Sunday Sales on Instagram, or create something special and have her design a stamp array for your invitation or celebration. You can head over to enfieldpost.com and explore all the different vintage postage stamps you can use on your next card or letter. That's ENFIELDPOST on Instagram and enfieldpost.com for your wedding and vintage postage needs. Enfield Post is the official postage stamp sponsor of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. The front of our next postcard has the three little pigs and the big bad wolf, standing in front of the base of the Matterhorn. On the left, you can see a small child in a yellow shirt. On the top of the postcard, it reads, "Three little pigs and friend" in quotations in yellow font, and below, Disneyland, in a yellow version of the classic Gothic font. On the back, it reads, "Three little pigs take a day off from home building to visit Disneyland. Even the big bad wolf is enjoying himself in the Magic Kingdom." It's postmarked July 31st, 1967, with the Los Angeles ABCD Mail for Better Business price, cancel, and a 5-cent blue George Washington postage stamp, Scott number 1283. I assume they visited the park on Sunday, July 30th, 1967, when park hours were from 9 a.m. to midnight. The weather was a high of 82 and a low of 66. It's addressed to Miss Julianne Proctor of Wharton, New Jersey. It reads, "Hi Julie, bet you're surprised to hear I'm in California. Decided to take a trip with cousin Marge. Am having a grand time out here. Tell you all about it when I get back. Love, Ruth Ann." I chose this postcard because it had the three little pigs, and starting the second half of the Hall of Aluminum exhibit was one of the more interesting displays, CAP, or KAP, or Kaiser Aluminum Pig. CAP was the host for guests to see the properties of aluminum. Guests would then learn about the economics of aluminum with a 3D chart comparing the financial advantages of aluminum. CAP would then demonstrate the practical properties of aluminum. In the center of the last room was an 8-foot aluminum star, hanging above the last three guest stops. First, a mural with the typical uses of aluminum today, with a blacklight section showing the future as well. A display called The Product of Tomorrow with aluminum items under development. Finally, an information desk to answer questions about the brightest star of the world of metals. The exhibit only lasted 5 years, from December 55 to July 1960. Halfway through their contract, Kaiser attempted to pull out, citing that there was a conflict with the Disneyland television show running ads for aluminum competitors. They were convinced to continue their contract, and by the end, Kaiser Aluminum boasted that 40 million guests walked through their attraction. This number was a bit inflated, as Kaiser was funding schools to teach curriculum about aluminum in the classroom, and a trip to Disneyland to see the exhibit. Kaiser Aluminum had also contracted with Disneyland to provide all the aluminum to the park, including the metal used for the canopy of King Arthur's Carousel, the frames and exterior of the Autopia cars, the clock of the world, the metal beams that drove the paddle wheel on the Mark Twain, the shell of the TWA Moonliner, and even the spires on Sleeping Beauty Castle. My incoming postcard is sponsored by the Art Throwdown. Art Throwdown, or ATD, is a craft hour on Instagram, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 Pacific. Art Throwdown is a wonderful community of artists who love to share their craft, from creating sticker postcards and coloring techniques to intricate paper cutting and unique crafting. It's always a treat to watch a show and occasionally get some one-of-a-kind postcards from the group. Each host brings something a little different to each show. I'll list some of the regular hosts, or you can follow Russ Romano 2021 on Instagram. The front of my incoming postcard has Mickey Mouse in blue overalls and a red shirt, dancing with Minnie wearing a yellow dress and a green bow. Behind them are two of the country bears and Chip and Dale dancing just to the right. On the back it reads, "Swing your partner. The down-home rhythms of the country bears puts Mickey and Minnie in the perfect mood for an impromptu hoedown. Even Chip and Dale can't resist a do-si-do or two." It's postmarked May 9th, 2024, with an Indianapolis, Indiana cancel and a Buzz Lightyear standing, no feet visible, forever postage stamp, Scott number 5712. It reads, 5/9/24. Hi Clocky, just wanted to send you a note to say hi. Hope this finds you safe, healthy, and as happy as our favorite mouse. All my best, Scott. Thank you so much for the postcard, Scott. I am doing well and excited to start more of my travel season next week. I'm recording 2 episodes this weekend, as I will be in Southern California for 9 days. Be sure to catch me on Geeks Corner, and I'll be joining Going To Guides for her party at Walt's Garage. I'm slowly reorganizing postcards and photos, and it's fun to look at postcards I've received over the years. I'm always looking forward to my next hidden treasure. Thanks for listening to Sent from Disneyland. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and tell your friends. It would also help to leave a 5-star rating and comment on whatever podcast platform you use. If you'd like to support the show financially, please check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/sentfromdisneyland. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Sent from Disneyland or my website, sentfromdisneyland.com. For questions and comments, send me a postcard addressed to Sent from Disneyland, P.O. Box 44, Hood, California, 95639. This podcast is not affiliated with Disney, the United States Postal Service, or any post office or Disney-related properties. Opinions expressed on this podcast belong to the host and guests of the Sent from Disneyland podcast. This podcast is produced and edited by Clocky McDowell, website designed by Misty McDowell, theme song was written and performed by Noah Sunday Lefkowitz. Take it away, Noah.